So guys, in today's videos, we will learn about SMTP protocol, and we will see various types of the port we have with SMTP. So let's deep dive into it. So first, SMTP means the full form of SMTP is Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, and we are using it to send emails from one device to the another device or one mail server to the another mail server. And one important thing, it is not used for reading emails. We have other protocols for reading emails like IMAP we have, POP3 we have. We will see in a later videos about that. So now one questions arises in our mind like SMTP uses port number 25 also, 2525 also, 465 also, 587 also. So how to choose right SMTP port? When do we use which port? That is a question arises in our mind, and we will understand today what is the use case of each port numbers. Accordingly, we are using that. So first we start with the SMTP port number 25. So port number 25 means what? SMTP relay. So it is used for mail server to mail server communication. When your Google server or your Gmail server wants to communicate with another Gmail server, in that scenarios we are using the port 25. Let's say like example you have Gmail mail server and some other exchange mail server. In between you have Cisco ESA device. So it builds a TCP 25 TCP because SMTP uses the 25 port number of TCP, right? So Gmail mail server starts a connection of TCP SMTP connection with port number 25, and it establishes a connection with the mail server. So that is a one example. Okay, and there is another example like if Gmail to Cisco ESA, in that case SMTP 25 will use Cisco ESA to Microsoft Exchange to Office 365. All of them will be kind of mail server to mail server communication, right? So in these scenarios we are using the port number 25. And if star TLS can also be used on port 25 if both servers supported. What did you mean by the star TLS? I will tell you guys. But just as of now, star TLS is kind of SMTP commands which we are used for providing the encryption, right? I will tell you like in upcoming videos. I will tell you about star TLS. Okay. So now second one is a port 2525. So port 2525 is not an official SMTP standard port. It is used as an alternative SMTP submission port. It is not an official SMTP standard port. It is used as alternative SMTP submission port. When we are using it as alternative, when your ISP blocks port number 25 or your firewall blocks port 587, I told you like there are multiple port numbers do we have. So in that scenarios we are going with this 2525. Okay. Or your hosting providers block standard SMTP ports. Cloud providers recommend it as an alternative submission port. As I said, not as an official SMTP standard port. So it is kind of you can say is a backup port we are using for that purpose. Coming up to the very important port number, which is port number 587. Here but here you guys will understand about the SRTLS command. So first of all, why do we use port 587? We are using port 587 when a mail client, we do have a mail client like Outlook we have, Thunderbird we have, Apple Mail we have. These all of them we are using to send the email, right? So encryption will starts after the SMTP connection is established using the StarTLS command. So as I told you guys like start TLS command is used to start the encryption, right? So this command is used for the starting the encrypted communication. How the flow will work, let me tell you. Here is a client, here is a mail server. Client want to establish a connection with TCP 587. Okay, so it will send, server will send like 220 SMTP ready. Then client will send a EHLO, then server will send 250 star TLS. Okay, then star TLS and TLS handshake will be there encrypted SMTP session will be there. Now onwards, encrypted SMTP session will establish, and then mail from recipient. Recipient means destination where you want to send your email, and all the data body, everything will be there. Okay, so this is how the flow will work like. And what do you mean by the 220 and 250? I will tell you guys. These are the response codes. Okay, SMTP response codes. 220 means server is ready, so you can start your SMTP connections, right? So like that, there are other SMTP response codes also. I will tell you guys. So initially, what will happen is here, like SMTP is a plain text. After the start TLS command here, see, after this start TLS command here, after that TLS handshake will be there. After the TLS handshake done, then after encrypted communication will start. So that's a use case. Initially, SMTP is in plain text, right? So the connection is upgraded to TLS encryption with the help of a start TLS command. So that is a use case. So modern recommendation is what? Use 587 with the start TLS because we want the encrypted communication, right? So now another, we have port like port 465 we have. Okay, we call it as like SMPTS and implicit TLS. So we use port 465 when encryption must start immediately. The client and the server establishes a TLS session before any SMTP commands. Like in our previous case, in case of 587, as first SMTP is in plain text. After the start TLS command, encryption starts. TLS handshake start, encrypted SMTP session starts. But here, what if I do want that everything from the starting itself, it should start in an encrypted manner. So in that scenarios, we will go through with 465. So what is the flow here? Let's see. Here is a client, here is a mail server, and here is a TCP 465 we do have. Okay, and when the client wants to establish a connection with the port number 465, so after that TLS handshake will be there, encrypted connection will be here. After then EHLO command mail from before what was there, EHLO command from the client was sent before TLS handshake, so that was not encrypted. In this port number 465, what happens? TLS handshake starts from a very beginning. Okay, when the client wants to establish a connection, at the same time it starts TLS handshake. It means like there is a no need of SMTP command, right? There is a no meaning of using SMTP start TLS command, right? So here we are not using start TLS command. There is a no plain SMTP session, right? From the starting itself, communication starts in encrypted manner. Encryption begins immediately after the TCP connection is established, right? So that all about the SMTP ports. So next, I want to go through you guys with these SMTP response code. These are some famous and very day-to-day life use case response codes which we are using. So go through with that. Like 220 we have, 220 means server is ready, you can start your TLS session. 221 we have, 221 we are using for closing the connection. 235 we are using for the authentication successful, like client wants to verify the servers, in that case 235 will be there. 250 is their command completed successfully, like we saw in our flow. 250, 250 we saw in our port 587. 250, yeah, see, 250 start TLS. It means command executed. Your previous command EHLO command is executed successfully, right? So that is a use case of that. And let me go through with other response codes also. Like 354 we have like send the email content now. 421 service unavailable. 450 mailbox temporarily unavailable. 451 temporary local error is there. 452 insufficient storage, like and then we have 535, 550 and 554. So I want you guys to go through with all this and used to with these response codes. And in the later videos, I will tell you more about IMAP and POP3. IMAP and POP3, these are the protocols which we are using for the reading the mails. In this video, we learn about how to send the mails, right? Which port we do using for the SMTP. SMTP used for sending the mail. So which port number we are using and when do we are using. All these things I have covered in this video. So go through with these videos. In the upcoming videos, I will go through with other reading emails protocols like IMAP and POP3. Okay, guys. Till then, you can revise all these things. And thank you for watching.